Life is fragile, and it only takes one person and a betrayal of trust to shatter everyone's world. It's like they say, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Well, there are many things you fear as a parent, but the news that Ellie's mum Carol received from her husband Matt on that Friday afternoon was her worst nightmare.
There were just police cars everywhere, and Matt was just there sobbing, and that's when he said, Ellie's died, Ellie's died.
Officers arrived and uniformed colleagues arrived, and they were faced with a horrific scene. Eleanor was found face down, and there was a large amount of blood. But noticeably at the time, she was lying face down with her right arm across her body, holding on to the handle of the knife, in such a way to make it look as though Ellie had inflicted the wounds herself. And then you automatically start hypothesising that obviously this is likely to be a homicide.
It's impossible for me to understand how all of a sudden your home can become a crime scene. And not only that, but while you're struggling to deal with what's happening, you're having to take calls you never in a million years thought you would have to take.
Ellie was just loved by so many people. She didn't have any enemies. Who on earth would murder our dear Ellie? Who would do that?
It's shocking enough to come to terms with the loss of somebody you love. But then that is made far more powerfully painful when you realise it's a murder. What happens then to the family and the friends? Suspicion, everything that you thought was safe is no longer true. The way you think about yourself and the world is shattered. And psychologically, that is traumatic.
As more horrific details about Ellie's death emerged, the ripples of shock spread beyond the family.
I think everybody that any of myself and my colleagues spoke to, there was this feeling of shock. You know, what is going on? This can't be happening in our road, in our town.
When someone is killed within their home, it's very likely that they are known to the offender.
We see our friendship groups as our circle of trust. We've shared stuff, we are vulnerable with each other. All that sort of stuff is what bonds groups of friends together, particularly teenagers. To then pierce that with, well, there might be an enemy within, is very destabilising.
Begs the question, who can you really trust? Murder at My Door with me, Kim Marsh, starts Monday the 2nd of November on Crime and Investigation.